Hello. So I'm going through a tasting set today. Now, normally what I do with these is I would try them neat, and then try them again with water, and give them final score. Take my time. I don't have that time today because there's family visiting, and my daughter's at a day camp that ends at 3 on the dot. So we're gonna rush this a little bit. I'm gonna add some water to these right away, like 2 drops there, a little squirt there. And yeah, we're just going to shoot from the hip today and see what happens. See what happens. It'll be fun. All right, but what this is a little tasting set from Ultimatum Rum. What's Ultimatum Rum? Ultimatum Rum is the rum line of the ultimate independent Scotch bottler, who I like very much. They're very kind of budget minded, which I'm a cheapskate, so that totally goes with my vibes. But I haven't tried any of their rums before. But they do have this little set, which comes annoyingly in these kind of test tubey bottles, which I'm not going to try to set up on my kind of slightly uneven table here. So we're not going to do that. They're pre-poured, and I'm just going to just taste through them like this. Give you some marks, and here we go. So we'll talk about them as we go through. Starting off with this is their Infinitum 12, which is bottled at 40%, unfortunately. And I don't really know what this is. This is they're calling this a high quality Caribbean rum, matured in selected oaks, but it's a 12-year-old, and they're saying it's all pot still. Now that is interesting. So you immediately think Jamaica, but there's lots and lots of other countries in the Caribbean that make pot still rum. Ooh. And immediately I'm getting, the aromas of molasses-based, low ester pot distillate. This is very floral. Lots of rose waters, like rosewater, daisies. It's a very kind of vivid, pretty nose. The downside with 40%ers is they tend to not hold together as well in the palate, but we shall see. But the nose, yeah, this is nice. There's certainly a little bit of like a green olive, black olive thing, some fennel happening, salted licorice. Little hints of mint tea. Kind of like dessert stuff, a little like pound cake or even lane cake. Southern thing. Hints of pineapple. It's hard for me to pick out. If you asked me to guess what distillery this was, I don't think I could do it. Nothing about this is screaming like Jamaica at me. I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be like a low ester, something. Nothing about this says, oh, it's a Worthy Park, oh, it's a Hampton. Nothing like that. Could it be Bejan? Sure. Could be. Could it be? It could be Saint Lucian. Like this could be something off of the. If this was off the like one of the John Doerr stills, I would not be shocked at all. In any case, that's what it smells like. It's very floral, very aromatic. It has a little bit of a like a incense meets like Balkan Sobrani pipe tobacco thing. It's nice. And vanilla because American oak. There's some vanilla here too on the palate. And there's the thing with spirits bottled at 40%. They smell so nice. They smell so nice, and you think, oh, this doesn't smell like it's been, had the heart chopped out of it at all. This smells very much alive. And you would try it on the palate, and it feels a little bit thin, and that makes it come across a little bit bitter as well. Yeah, Rival is lovely. There's some like pineapple upside down cake stuff happening, mixed with some olives. That salted licorice thing again. Right up front, a little just like barrel ash, overstewed English breakfast tea. Lots of nice stuff up front, but then as it goes back in your mouth, it starts to kind of fall apart a little bit. And on the finish, yeah, there's a little bit of like a kind of not grainy, almost a paper mache bitterness thing that starts to come out a little bit, and that's just from the thinness due to this having been, having the proof pushed down so much. Just some black pepper, nice stuff. The floral elements are still very much in play, and they're filling up my mouth nicely, and they're sticking around. Yeah, so it's a very classic low ester molasses-based pot still rum. That's what it is, except it's had a lot of the goodness taken away, and what's left is not holding together as well as I would like. It's still pretty darn good, though. What would I give this? That St. Lucian thing is sticking in my brain. I don't know. This doesn't feel Jamaican to me. It just doesn't. It could be, but it doesn't have that kind of vibe to it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be thinking about origins, just about quality. I would give this a good solid... It's better than an 8. I'm going to give this an 83. 83 points. And let's move on. I knew that would happen at some point in the video. It'll probably happen again. All right, moving on to glass number 2. This is the selected, what is this called? High quality blend. This is the reason why I bought this set, actually. This is the one I really wanted to try. This is a blend of 8 different rums, about 50% pot still, bottled at 46%. It's, I think it's 8 years old. Yeah, and wait, this is 12, right? Okay. Just checking my notes. And yeah, so I'm going to give this a swirl. Don't know where this is from, but yeah, this is the one I was really curious about because it's very, very reasonably priced. I don't think you can buy it in the U.S. I don't think you can buy any of these in the U.S., but at the online retailers, they're there, and this one in particular, for the stats, looks very reasonably priced. So I'm super excited. 46%. Smells like a very, very nicely balanced rum. Vanilla. There's some milk chocolate coming through, actually. That's my daughter outside. She's crying for... She went out with Grandma. Milk tea. Every instinct in me wants to run outside right now, but no, I'm gonna fight to finish the video. Black pepper. Intense fennel and aniseed. Little dashes of sea breeze. In some ways, this reminds me of like what I imagine like Appleton 12 would be like if you just stripped a hell of a lot of the kind of raw oak out of it. Because there was a really nice, like, almost rose thing going on. There's some fruit. There's a little bit, almost a little bit of peach happening. Pineapple again. Banana peel. Fried plantain. All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm on the palate. I like it. It's a very coherent blended rum. That's sort of how it comes across. Fair amount of wood. I don't know where this stuff was matured. I wouldn't be surprised if some of this underwent tropical maturation. There's a lot of wood on this for 8 years old. Black pepper, overstewed English breakfast tea. But also that kind of like milk tea thing. There's a like just old school Hong Kong milk tea, no bubbles. Fennel, aniseed, little black olive, touch of rubber cement, but not much. But then the fruit, plantain again, pineapple again. There's a little bit of an orange peel element. There's a little bit of a floral element. There's lots of different little things. A little hint of like toasted marshmallow as well. Lots of nice little things going on in this. Yeah, for something at its price point, and again, it's like, I don't know, couple of euros basically. This is very much worth considering. Can't go too high with this. I'm going to give this 84. 84 points. And I'm going to set the set back up and hopefully not knock it down. And yeah, that was the one I'm interested in. So all the rest of these are bonus glasses. Okay, so next up is, it's a Jamaica. It's a 4-year-old Jamaica. And this one, God help me, has been finished in a port pipe. Oh boy. Port pipe finished Jamaican rum. 47.8% alcohol. I have no idea what I'm going to get on this. And the nose, it's not a disaster, actually. It smells very Worthy Park. I'm going to say that right up front. It doesn't mean it's Worthy Park. It could also be Clarendon. Clarendon's also got a little bit of that kind of like very kind of fruit forward signature. But there's definitely a Turkish delight element on this, which is a giveaway for Worthy Park for me a lot of the time. But it doesn't mean it is. So the good news is the port pipe isn't doing a whole lot of damage on this. It's there. You can sense it. There's a kind of blueberry eau de vie kind of thing happening. Touch of herbaceousness, touch of sage. Maybe some like fresh leaves in the back there. But it's really not that aggressive. It's just to my surprise, this smells rather balanced. Pineapple, orange peel, pound cake, lane cake, vanilla, black pepper. Yeah. I was expecting a disaster with this, and it really just isn't. It smells like a very nice, low estery Jamaican rum. This one really does smell Jamaican, though. It's got that kind of extra dose of fruitiness to it. This is much more fruit forward than, say, the first glass, which is much more floral on the palate. To my shock, to my absolute shock, I kind of like this. I did not see that coming. Just staring at the stats on this set. No, Turkish delight. A little bit of fried green tomato, which is also a Turkish, a worthy part kind of note. Got those two elements interacting. Lots of black pepper, lots of vanilla. Then little hints of like blueberry, but it's almost more blueberry spirit, raspberry, licorice, fennel, olives. Well, color me purple. Like this is nice. Now, in my heart of hearts, was the port finish really necessary on this? No. Is it doing a whole lot? No, not really. There's a little bit of leafiness again going on, a little bit of sage, maybe some thyme happening. But I'm not mad. I'm okay with that. I'm going to give this. We're not going to go super high. I can't get up to 85, but we'll give it an 84 plus. This is good. The trend is upwards. Okay, next up is Barbados. Barbados. Let me check my notes. So this is almost certainly Foursquare because there's just not a whole lot of independent Mount Gay or BlackRock floating around out there. Definitely not the Abbey one, St. Nicholas Abbey. St. Nicholas Abbey, I've never seen an independent bottling ever. So what this is it's also 4 years old, and this one has been finished in a sherry butt that previously contained Whitlaw, which is Highland Park. So one of the perks of having a Scotch business on the side of your rum business. 48.9% alcohol. Interesting. So, yeah, if you told me that you had taken a glass of a nice glass of Foursquare, young Foursquare, and good Foursquare, like some that had a little bit of a higher stock of pot still in there, and you put a little bit of Highland Park in it, this is kind of what that smells like. Yeah, so I'm getting that kind of Pepsi meets banana peel element, full Virginia flake tobacco. Pineapple upside down cake, white pepper. black licorice, rummy stuff. But then there's like a kind of heather honey kind of note on there as well, and some like almost orchard apples happening. It's like slightly ripe apples that just fell off the tree, which is really not Foursquare. I'm not really getting any peat or anything on like that on this. Don't get too excited. But yeah, there is like an orchard apple thing, that honey thing. Almost a grainy thing too. There's like a little whisper of oatmeal in there. I'm not sure what I think about it. I honestly am a little bit. I'm intrigued. Let me put it that way. We'll see what happens on the palate. Here we go. Let me tell you something. I went into this, I wanted to try this one. I wanted to try the 8-year-old because I wanted to see if it was actually pretty good value. And I kind of thought, these are all finishes. They're just going to be a mess. They might be interesting, but I wasn't expecting to really be into them. This is good. Like, this is one of the best young Foursquares I've had in a long time. I remember that the TCRL, Transcontinental Rum Line one I had a few months ago. This is better than that. I don't know why exactly. It's just taken that there's no reason for like 4-year-old Foursquare should be particularly good. I mean, that profile especially, like, I don't think this is the high pot still blend they use in the exceptional cask stuff. I think it's maybe a slightly elevated version of the Dorley's blend. But this is kicking. I gotta say, like, this, something about their cask pick or the finish or something about this is just working really, really well. Plantains sauteed in Pepsi with a little bit of Virginia flake tobacco thrown on top. That's the main thing. What's shocking me is just how well this is covering the palate. And it's kind of, the mouth length is good. It's getting into the back of my throat a little bit. It's hanging on really well. Highland Park elements. It's got that heather honey thing again. Kind of peeking through. A little bit of ashiness as well. Not really getting any apple stuff. Maybe that oatmeal thing is kind of hanging around still, but it's very subtle. Mainly, this just tastes like a very, very substantial mouth-filling young Foursquare. I like this a lot. Dang. Okay. I'm not gonna go super duper crazy on that. I will give it an 86. If you'd asked me before I started shooting this, is the I wasn't expecting to like the Jamaica at all, but I also wasn't expecting the Barbados, the young Foursquare, to beat the Jamaica. But here we are. All right, moving on. Okay, now it's starting to get a little bit fun and weird. This is a Venezuela. Which was finished in a Edredor cask, ex-bourbon Edredor cask. So you're talking Southern Highlands malt whiskey, 7 years old, bottled at 47.9% alcohol by volume. Are they telling you what kind of stills this is? No, they're not. So we'll just have to guess. Much more subtle on the nose. White pepper, some cinnamon. It smells a little bit like a spiced latte. Yeah, there's some like coffee elements in there, like latte, cappuccino. Lightly floral as well. There is a little bit of graininess on this one too. There's a little bit of oatmeal happening, which I'm happy about. It's a couple of like, not, I want to say orange slices, but it's not even that much. It's like little bits of orange peel, not orange, apple peel. Apple slices and apple peels. Okay, but there's actually some orange peel in this as well. It's been a day. It doesn't. I mean, I will say that right off the bat, this doesn't initially smell like rum to me. Like it doesn't. It just smells like kind of unidentifiable, fruity spirit of some kind. I would not. I might eventually get my way to rum if you handed this to me blind, but it would take me a while. There's a little bit of minerality. There's like some like rock dust happening, but much lighter on the nose than any of these others so far. Much lighter on the palate. A lot of coffee, a lot of pepper. Well, when I say coffee, it's more like, again, a kind of spiced latte thing. Yeah, so pepper and pumpkin spice latte. Let's go with that. Slightly grainy. Cinnamon. Some cola cubes. There's not a lot to go on with this one. This is much more like turned down than the previous couple. Brown sugar. Actually, yeah, that's something to go on. Like, I feel like bourbon drinkers would like this. They would be into this. Vanilla, brown sugar, coffee, all the stuff you want in a spirit. It's not bad. It's not. It's a little bad. But it's not terrible. It's just a little bit generic and unexciting. In terms of quality, I mean, mouthfeel is okay. It's nice and peppery. There's some tannins happening. Finish is not long, but it's not, like gone like that. Mouth length is okay. 81 seems right. Let's call this an 81. Not a bad rum at all if you come into it, by accident somehow, but not one I would seek out. Not by any means. And finally, we have got, this is very interesting. This is a Panamanian rum, and you might say, well, that's not particularly interesting. That's just multi-column still stock, right? Yes, but this is a 10-year-old, and it was finished in a Balashin cask, which is also Edradour, but it's peated Edradour. So we're talking about a finish in a peated malt whiskey cask. That should be intriguing. This is 49.8%. Let's see what we got. And it's kind of smells like what you would think it would smell like. It smells like you took a classic, classy, roughly Cuban style rum and set it next to a stinky ashtray, but a nice stinky ashtray. So what are we getting? We are getting Coca-Cola and banana peel and lots of vanilla mingled with like stinky, manure-y, grungy, barnyardy, poopy mainland peat, and it kind of works, and smoky as well. Not just peaty, but also there's a distinctive like an ashtray element to this. But half the ashtray is full of ash, and the other half of the ashtray is full of like poopy, manure-y mud. And I know that doesn't sound appealing, but this is kind of working. There's some white pepper. There's coffee on this as well. This is more of like a cold brew kind of vibe than like espresso drinks. Honestly, notes-wise, there isn't a whole lot more to this. I've just described most of what this smells like. Maybe like a little lemon peel in there somewhere. Fried plantain thrown in among the banana peels. But no, that's about it. I think I got everything on the palate. Sorry, I'm gonna pull it together. Some things you like because they're just such magnificently intense, balanced, complicated, beautiful things. And sometimes you like them because they're just a little bit silly. This is, I love because it's a little bit silly. This shouldn't exist, but I'm delighted that it does. Arrives like a big, thick Cuban style rum. Very kind of like coffee, vanilla, cola cubes, syrup with a little bit of olive in there, a little bit of rubber cement in there. And then as it passes through the mid palate, it just explodes into peat and poo and ash. And it's a lot of fun. This works. This is genuinely good. I hate it. This is as good as the Barbados is. This is an 86. 86 points. It's ridiculous and highly recommended. I mean, this would be a great one to break out for people who you get together for a blind tasting or something. Pour this for them and let them figure it out. So that's it. What do we got? In last place is the Venezuelan. It's fine. Then the 12. You can get the 8-year-old, which is why I bought this. Also very good. And a little bit above that, the Jamaica, which I did not expect to like. And top tier, S tier, or not S tier, but for the purposes of this video, right at the front, the Barbados one and the PD Panamanian one. And that's the lineup. Thanks for watching and cheers.